What's happening, guys? My name is Jamie, this is the Norwich Reptile Shed, and welcome to part 2 of the 6-foot builds. Okay then, so to finish the wood on these 6-foot vivs, I'm using my standard stain, so everything kind of matches in here. So this is just, use 2 coats of this stain, which gets the finish done, and then this is a new product that I'm going to try and use. I used to always use polyurethane varnish, and it does smell, not as bad as yacht varnish, but it does still smell. So I'm going to give this stuff a go. It's low odour, toy safe, food safe, non-toxic. From what it sounds on the tin, I like the sound of it. Certainly yacht varnish and polyurethane varnish doesn't advertise any of this stuff, so I can't see this being a problem. So let's chuck it on and see what happens. Okay, so we are fully varnished on both of them. So I didn't mention it at the start, but what I do in here is varnish all the surfaces inside. I don't actually put any varnish on the outside. Hey, I'm just interrupting this video to say, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It means the world to me, the channel, and these cool animals. Waste the stain. I mean, there's 2 coats of stain on this already, so it's protected. So yeah, I do varnish the back. I don't stain the bottom because that's a complete waste of stain, but that's all got a load of varnish on it. That's got varnish on it, although that's stained. Obviously I'm putting a background on it, but if for some reason in the future I decide not to have a background or anything like that, it's just all stained. So yeah, next up really is waiting for that to dry before we can progress, but we can start to think about putting the door tracks on and get the glass measured up and ordered, because that takes about a week to get the glass in. So yeah, let's get some door tracks on. Okay, so here is all of the door tracks that we need. They actually come in, they're sold as 6 foot, but they're basically sold as 3 foot long lengths, so you have to put a join in the middle, which is perfectly fine for me. The glass never sort of goes over them anyway. If you've got overlapping glass, that join in the middle is always covered by the glass anyway, so that always works out pretty well. So all I've got to do now, they're taped together really tightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure. We know the clear opening is 176 centimetres. So we've just got to divide that by 2. So we're at 88.2 centimetres. So we've just got to cut that. So what I'm going to do, leave them all taped together, push them right up to the edge of the bib so they're all nice and perfectly lined up. And we're just going to mark out 88.2. So we'll do the shallow ones first, which are the base of the bottom of the opening. So they're the easy ones. The top ones require a bit of clamping, but we'll worry about them in a minute. So what we've got to do, trusty old HA6 silicone. And we'll just give these just a quick score up. Okay, so for the top ones, I'm going to do exactly the same as I did on the bottom one. Sand it down, put a bead of silicone along the top. I'm actually going to put them on there. I'm going to put that on this so I can just go straight down. And then what I'm going to do, because I've got 4 individual pieces to do, and I don't have 8 clamps, I'm going to use just electrical tape. And I'm just going to, on each of them, twice, I'm just going to put some electrical tape around it. So you'll see what I mean. First of all, got to give them a bit of a rub down. Okay, so now we've got the door tracks nice and secured and dry. We can go ahead and measure up for the glass. I actually know the glass size because it matches my other 2 over there, or at least one does anyway. But basically what we're doing here is measuring from the bottom of the door track there to the top of to the bottom of that track there, giving ourselves a couple of millimeters, and then we're going from the inside gap all the way along, get that measurement, divide it by 2, and then add 2 centimeters, and then we've got a nice 4 centimeter overlap. So what I'm going to do now is seal all these edges ready for the protection that we're going to be putting in, the same as the other vivariums that I've built. So what I'm going to be doing, I want to get all these edges nice and sealed, and then on top of that we're going to be putting down our flooring protector. But we need to get this done and at least dry for 24 hours or so before we go ahead and put the flooring protector on. So let's do some siliconing. Okay, so the next job is going to be drilling. Well, what I want to do is get the waterproofing down, but I want to make it easier for myself and actually see inside the vivarium a bit easier, rather than relying on this crazy crazy light thing going on. We're going to put this one in the top there, and I'm going to have to mount it to the ceiling. But before I mount it to the ceiling, that was going to be my next job. But now I've got to drill my vent holes first so I can run the wiring through and get all my wiring sorted out. And I'm actually going to do it on this side. And the reason I'm going to do it on this side, it's not my normal side. I actually normally put my heat on my right hand side. But you sort of tucked away into this corner a little bit, which is fine for changing a heat lamp. It's not really a problem. They don't go that often, especially if you use high quality Reptile systems lamps. But this side's going to be where my water bowls are, and I'm obviously there a lot more than I am dealing with heat lamps. So I'm going to put my heat lamps there, my water bowls here. So I'm going to do my high vents on this side. So let's get marking, drilling and fitting. Okay, well, I don't know about you, but that's a lot better now. So we can actually see what we're doing. It's obviously all kind of temporary. We've still got to put the UV on and all that kind of stuff, but that'll do for now. Now we can move on to waterproofing the vivarium, so fitting the floor protector. Waterproofing wise, obviously I've got a video all about doing this, but just to cover it quickly, we're going to put a massive piece of flooring protector the same size as the base, and then 14 centimeters up, which is just underneath this plinth, we are going to put strips all the way round on all four sides. So what we've got to do really is measure this base size and then cut 14 centimeter strips, 2 identical long ones and 2 identical short ones, and then silicone them on with HA6 silicone. And there we have it, guys. I think I'm going to wrap this video up here because I can't fit the vents until I hang the heat lamp, but we've obviously drilled the holes out and the glass is on order. But I want to crack on with building this into a barn style vivarium. So it's not going to make sense on the video if I've got a background already in and I'm still talking about fitting glass. So yeah, I think we're going to wrap this one up. This is how I prepare my 6 by 2.5 by 3 foot tall vivariums. I'm now going to do all of this again down on this one, and then we've got 2 vivariums that are a nice sort of blank canvas ready to make into specific reptile vivs. Obviously you can see all the writing on here. We're not going to see that once we've got the substrate on. The sides, I've made sure we don't see any of the writing on the sides, because you may see that depending on how high you have the substrate, but my background is going to meet my substrate, so we're not going to see anything there or there. And then on the inside and the two sides, they're the other side, so they're black anyway. So I think that'll do it for this one. So that'll do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and gave you a bit of an insight into how I do my 6x3 foot enclosures. I've got 4 more of these to make, so we'll do more videos in the future, but ultimately I use this system on every vivarium and every enclosure size I build, so that covers that. In terms of what's next, it's going to be turning this one into the barn style enclosure, so that'll be the next video when I'm building that, and talk you through how I do that with the heat, the UVB and backgrounds and stuff like that. So I've got some cool ideas for that one as well. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, we have a Patreon. It's only £3 a month and you get your name credited on the end of each video. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, drop me a comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.